What's up, YouTube? It's Fuzzymotion, and today we're going to be talking about how strong your commitment is to serve someone in need. I have two stories for you to share, and what you're looking at right now is a gameplay from Titanfall. I haven't played Titanfall in God knows how long. I want to say like at least a couple months. So it's been a while. My Titanfall skills aren't that great, but I figure since Call of Duty Advanced Warfare is coming out and the double jumping and the wall running seems to be a thing again, we should probably get back into the swing of things. This is kind of what you guys voted for. You voted for like another FPS that was something other than COD, so I just kind of chose Titanfall because I figured it was probably the closest thing to Advanced Warfare that I could probably muster up. So enough about that. Let's go ahead and get into the actual discussion for today, which is how strong it is for your will to serve. Now, what I mean by that, it could mean a bunch of things. It could mean what your will to serve your country is. It could mean what your will to serve your community, mankind in general. How strong that is. But what I'm really talking about is how strong is your will when you see something going on, when you see something wrong or someone in need of help. How strong is your will to step in and do something about it? I have two different stories for you. The first story is an instance where there was a car accident outside of my house. I remember I was recording a Binding of Isaac video, and I talked about it in that video, but there was a car accident with a motorcycle outside. The motorcycle had two passengers, the driver and a female passenger. She was flung from the motorcycle because the car in front stopped short and the motorcycle ended up rear-ending it, so you can probably imagine how that worked out. There's a stop sign right in front of my apartment, and that causes a lot of people to stop short. So, long story brought to a close here. What happened was people rushed to her aid. Now, I am physically probably the closest person to that accident. So I looked outside, saw what happened, and I thought to myself, well, I probably should do something about this. And I don't have great cell phone reception, so there's a store in front. I went to the store, said, hey, call 911, and went and saw the situation and helped the lady, kept her from moving, making sure that she didn't have any sort of neck or back injury or anything like that. She was fine. Diverted traffic around her, and then once the EMTs came, they took her away, and she was fine. But, it was a very scary thing because with motorcycle accidents, just any sort of automobile accident in general, you want to be very careful, especially if the person's getting flung from the vehicle somehow. It's a very scary thing to think, if you make one wrong move, this person could be paralyzed. And luckily that didn't happen. But, a lot of people came, a lot of people were actually around the area, which is kind of weird because this place is a little secluded. But anybody was willing to jump in, which was kind of nice. Let's take that and kind of put it alongside, juxtapose another situation that happened to me recently where I was at a Walmart. I was there shopping with my aunt, and I was all the way in the meat aisle, and I don't know if you know how Walmarts are situated, but at least the one that's near me is the food aisle. The Super Walmart has all the food to one section, and then all the concessions and I guess you can call them stationary items, because like paper and stuff like that, they're towards the middle, the clothing toward the middle, and then the electronics on the opposite side of all that, right? So I was all the way in the food aisle where the frozen food section was, and my aunt comes over looking for me, and she seems like upset, panicked almost, and I'm like, well, what's going on? Am I in trouble? Did I say something? She brings me over, and as I'm walking over, she goes, every time I don't have my phone, shit like this happens. I said, what do you mean? She goes, look. And she points over to an aisle, and I see a dude standing there. I was like, well, what's wrong? Is he just creeping you out? And she goes, no, look closer. So I get closer to the aisle, and I notice that there's a guy on the ground just laying there. And he's not moving. And I'm like, holy shit, what's going on? Why is nobody else doing anything about this? Because she had seen this. I'm sure she didn't see him fall. She didn't say my aunt saw him fall. She just said she saw the guy laying on the ground. So he was on the ground already. She had time to come find me. And then by the time she came and found me, we walked back. We didn't rush. We just walked back to the situation, the guy laying on the ground, and nobody was around him. Nobody was around him talking to him, helping him out. Nobody was doing anything. So I walked up to him and I said, sir, don't worry, I'm here to help. Are you in any pain? I started doing the whole rigmarole of going through the steps of how to help him, and he seemed fine. Now, as I started to talk to him a little bit more, I started to get a little suspicious as to whether or not he was really injured. He didn't move. He seemed more concerned about, the water that was on the ground that he slipped on and where it was. He kind of knew exactly where everything was. It was. I don't want to implicate, one way or another that I don't think he was really injured, because I don't know. I wasn't at the hospital when he got picked up. But, I still waited until the EMT showed up, made sure that management knew what was happening, had someone call 911, do all that stuff, Both instances, somebody was clearly hurt because they were on the ground, And one instance, a lot of people saw it. They, were their witness to the car accident, and then other people might have seen the man fall in Walmart. But in both instances, somebody was clearly hurt. But in only one instance did people actually rush to see what was going on. The other instance, most people kind of just like brushed it off, like, oh, well, I guess we're not going to do anything. There was a lot of people that passed by and did nothing. That absolutely did nothing, didn't even bat an eyelash. They kind of looked at it and said, well, it's not really that big of a deal, and they kept going about their shopping, which was kind of disconcerting. So my question to you is this, if you see something that looks out of the ordinary, that looks like you can possibly make an impact, make a difference, without putting yourself in danger, of course, will you do that? And will you act, I guess you would say selflessly? The question is, do you feel that there's a need? If you feel somebody's not really hurt, or you feel that you don't need to jump in, is it okay to just stand there while somebody's laying on the ground and obviously not moving? I think that it's a big problem to just kind of stand around and do nothing. Because what if, God forbid, this guy was actually hurt and he had lower back problems, or he twisted his neck the wrong way and now he's paralyzed? Somebody could have prevented that had they just stepped in, and had they just decided to keep anything from happening to this poor man any further. You don't know how serious an injury is until you're actually a doctor and you can do your x-rays and MRIs and tests and things like that and bring someone to a hospital where the facilities are adequate. But still, I find it very, very disheartening that people would just kind of treat somebody's injury as if it's not that important. And I even saw people I knew kind of passing by and kind of looking and then just walking away, which was kind of weird, because you thought they would have stopped by or been like, hey, what's going on, Rob, or anything like that. No, they just kind of looked at me and they kind of looked at the guy on the floor and they were just like, because the first thought in your mind is, oh, this guy's trying to get money out of Walmart. But again, something might have happened where the guy really fell and now he's hurt. There can be concussions, there could be slipped discs, there could be nerve damage, there could be all sorts of things. And coming from somebody that has a grandmother who is now starting to slip and fall a lot more, I feel very upset at the fact that some people wouldn't be willing to step up to a stranger who they see fall or they see on the ground, obviously who's in pain, who shouldn't be there, and don't feel the need to step in, because what happens when it's somebody when it's somebody you care about, when it's somebody you love? How are you going to be able to react to that and knowing that you could have possibly helped them? Well, that's the gameplay, guys. It's not too great, but it's Titanfall and I haven't played in a while. If you like the video, like, favorite, comment, subscribe. You know the deal. YouTube, we'll see you in the next video.